Okay. So today we are completely talking about Selenium with Java. Okay. So in this course, what we are going to learn means what are the content we are we are covering as part of the course. So all things we'll be discussing now. Okay. So Selenium with Java. I think course content you will be receiving through the mail. So we will start discussing about the some topics of selenium, like why we have to go for the selenium. We already have a manual testing, right? So we already have a manual testing. Then why we are going with respect to this tool is why we have to test the application by using the tool. What is the advantage over it? Okay, all those things we'll discuss today. So Selenium with Java. Okay. So why Selenium with Java? Because we can perform automation with many languages we have. I mean Selenium supports multiple languages. It supports Java. It supports C Sharp. It supports Python. Okay, but we are learning Selenium with Java in this course. Okay. So now the question is, what is software testing? What is software testing? What is software testing? What you guys can give the general exam definition for this. What is software testing? You can make use of a chat. Anyone who wants to answer? What is software testing? So
It's the methodology to check whether the created application is working as expected.
yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, testing testing an application. Testing an application. So in order to find the defect, means in order to find whether the application is working as per the customer requirement or not, or else it is meeting the customer requirement or not, or it is meeting the business requirement or okay. So testing the application in order to find the defect. Okay, so why to perform the software testing? If software testing is not there, means what happens? So what happens, for example, after the development will happens. So after the development completes, if you're not performing a software testing, means if you're not performing a testing, if you send directly that product or software to the customer, there may be a chance that that product may not work, means it maybe some future will be not working. So by the time what happens, there will be loss in the business. Customer will get frustrated with the product or software, and you may reject the software itself. Then it will be loss for the company, right? So software testing plays a major role. See, for example, whenever the development completes, after testing is done, until testing engineers give the sign off on the product, it will not go live. Okay, we are the one who are giving a promise to the company that yes, we are sending a quality of software to the customer. Yes, we are giving a sign off on the particular implementation. Okay, so it plays a major role when it comes to the development software. SDLC, you have heard, right? Whenever you're working in a manual testing, you heard like software development life cycle. So in that development life cycle, testing plays a major role. Okay, so why we have to test the application? If you're not testing the application, there may be a chance that we are sending the software with the defect. Okay, so we are sending the software with the defect means some functionality may be not working in the application. If some functionality is not working in the application, means customer will not get satisfaction to use that particular application. If customer is not getting satisfaction, means indirectly it is affects the business. Okay, it affects the business of the company. Okay, so that's why software testing plays a major role. So in this software testing, we have a two approach. One is a manual testing, another is automation testing. Automation testing. Okay, so in this manual testing, again we have something called functional testing and non-functional testing. the functional testing and non-functional testing. In this again, we have list of testing. Okay, so in this again, under the functional testing, we have list of testing, and under the non-functional testing, we have a list of testing. If we keep on, marking down here, means it will take a time. So just assume that here we have a manual testing. Under the software testing, we are categorized into a two testing, that is manual testing and automation testing. And next is functional testing and non-functional testing under the manual testing. Okay, so in the functional testing also, we have a list of testing. In non-functional testing also, we have a list of testing. In functional testing, you know, we have a list of testing, like, all the testing, what are all the test engineers will perform will comes under the functional testing. Non-functional testing also, test engineers perform, all those things will comes under the non-functional testing. But in this, what happens? In the list of testing, we have a testing like we have something like retesting and regression testing. We have something like a retesting and regression testing. Okay, so this is the manual testing. In this, we have two categories. We have categorized into two parts. This is functional and non-functional. And in this functional also, we have a list of testing, and in this also, we have a list of testing. But in the functional, something we have like retesting and regression testing. These are the two major areas, you know which uh, which is taking a lot of effort and time from the test engineers. Okay, so these are the two testing which is taking a lot of effort and time. Okay, so because of it is taking a lot of effort and time, so test engineers started thinking how we can overcome from this situation. Okay, so other testing also are there, but in that, these two plays a major role in order to go with the automation. Okay, so it is taking a lot of effort and time of the test engineer. Okay, so test engineers are like, they are fed up with the retesting and regression testing. So they are started thinking, no, we have to find some solution for this retesting and regression testing. Okay, so that is where automation came into picture. So now you can ask me the question that why what was happening in the retesting, why what was happening in the regression testing, so that we have to go for the automation. Why what was the reason behind this to go for the automation because of this two testing. Okay, so one is retesting. First talk about the retesting. What is retesting? So I think you guys know defect tracking tool, bug tracking tool, right? So what happens in the bug tracking tool? Maybe you are testing in an application. This is one application, you're testing in this application. Something is not proper in this application. Okay, so maybe here you have a username, you have a password, you have a login button. Okay, so you have a login button here. Maybe whenever you are performing a login activity, whenever you're clicking on the login, okay, the login is not happening, means login is not working. So what you have done now? So you're following a defect tracking tool now. Okay, there is some issue with the login button. Whenever you click on the login button, login is not happening and it is not redirected to the other page. Okay, means there's an issue with the login activity. So immediately you are going, maybe here this is a developer and this is test engineer. This is test engineer here. This is the developer. This is the test engineer. This is the developer. Okay, so what you will do, just as remember the defect tracking tool. Okay, so test engineer is going and is assigning this defect to the particular developer who has implemented this functionality. Okay, so he's going and is telling, yes, I am assigning one defect to you because this is a deviation from the actual requirement. The login functionality is not working properly, which is deviation to the actual functionality. So deviation to the actual functionality or deviation to the actual requirement, nothing but defect. So defect definition is deviation from the actual requirement. Okay, so this is a deviation from the actual requirement, so which is not working as per the requirement. So I'm assigning this defect to you. Okay, assigning to the particular dev. So what this developer will do, okay, he will go and he will analyze the defect. If it is, there is two stages comes, right? If he is accepted the defect, then okay, he start going and he will start fixing the defect. Okay, so he will start working on the defect. After fixing, here maybe just say suppose here he fixed it. Okay, he fixed the defect. After fixing, again this developer what he will do, okay, I have fixed the defect, whatever the defect you have assigned to me, I have fixed. Okay, please do the retesting. He will again assign to the test engineer. So this is where retesting came into the picture. Okay, so my test engineer is already tested this functionality but which was not working, and he is assigned to the developer. He has taken that defect and he is given a fix for that. Then whatever the fix he has done, after fix is done, so he is again telling the test engineer to retest the defect. Okay, so in that case what happens, maybe my test engineer is busy with some other items as well, right? So maybe he'll be occupied with some other testing as well. Okay, so in that also he has to take up this retesting, this work also he has to do again. Okay, okay, fine, he will take up that. Then he will again test the scenario. Whenever the testing, what's happening this time is, okay, login is happening, but after login it is not displaying the home page. Blank page is displaying, means again defect is there in that functionality. Again same functionality, means same story. Again you find again some issues. Then test engineer again, a developer, okay, you are given a fix, but now this is the issue is happening with the functionality. Again he will go, again he will assigned to the developer. This developer will keep on work on the defect and he will give a fix. Again, he will assign to the test engineer. Test engineer has to perform the retesting. Okay, so this activity will continue until we get the proper fix. Means until the functionality works as per the requirement. This testing and retesting and everything will be keep on repeating. Okay, if it is a small functionality, that's fine, but if it is a complex functionality, testing become ridiculous, right? And also we are my test engineer is wasting his time and effort here. Okay, so his all his time and effort is also wasted, because maybe in that time maybe you'll be working on some other items, maybe you'll be utilizing for some other things. Okay, so same functionality here he is doing three times of testing. Okay, first he has done, then he assigned, then he given a fix, then he tested, then also he find some issues, then he assigned, then he given a fix, then he is done. Same functionality he has to perform the uh, he has to perform testing three times here. See, this is a small functionality, that's fine. Okay, if it is a complex functionality, it will take a lot of time. Okay, if it is a complex scenario, the test is for testing also it take a lot of time. Okay, so then the it's lot of time waste will happen in that case. Okay, so this is also major issue that we were facing while we are performing a manual testing. Okay, so to overcome from this issue, we are jumping into the automation. Okay, so then one more thing, apart from the retesting, one more is the regression testing. In regression testing also, what happens, I think if you have worked on the manual testing, you know how the regression testing works. Okay, so whenever this is the functionality, whenever we are adding the new functionality, whenever we are removing the functionality, or whenever we are updating the functionality. Okay, so whatever the changes we are doing on the application should not affect the unchanged future. Okay, maybe this password field something you are updating, this login you are performing, again one more here one more button you're adding, just assume. Okay, means here you are adding and you're updating, and maybe some other functionality was here, you are removing this functionality, you no longer want this functionality, you are removing this functionality. Okay, you're removing this, you're adding this, you're updating this. So changes has been done for this future, but changes is not done for the first future. This future remain constant from start itself. This is not changed anything for this future. Okay. So because of these changes in this future should not affect the unchanged future, means it should not broke. Okay. It has to work as per the requirement how it was working before. So in this case also what happens whenever we are performing all the changes testing, so sometimes there may be a chance that because of the updation in the other functionality, because of removal of other functionality, because of addition of the other functionality, our software, our product may broke in some other functionality. So in order to make sure everything is working fine, we have to perform the regression testing again and again whenever we are adding the new functionality, whenever we are removing the new functionality, whenever we are updating the functionality, we have to perform the regression testing again and again on the future. Okay, because we have to make sure old functionalities are working fine. So this is like continuous process in the testing. Okay, this regression testing will be doing. So in this regression testing, we just here I'm giving us some sample example here, but in real time there will be a multiple scenarios will be there. Because of adding and removing and updating the new scenarios, it should not affect the old scenarios, whatever the list we were having. Okay, so that in the real time, which is a huge scenarios will be having, count will be a more. So to perform that also, if we working with a manual testing, it is a very time consuming process. Okay, for example, tomorrow is the release, Monday is the release. So suppose Friday, at the end of the Friday, we have got some issue in the one functionality. Okay, so we have assigned it to the developer and he has done the fix, and now what happens, because of a last minute fix, we have to test thoroughly the fixed functionality, whatever the defect we have raised, right, that fixed functionality and also old functionality, because of that fix should not affect the old functionality. Okay, so we have to test old functionality as well as whatever the fix he has done, but we just have a minimal time now because that is the end of the Friday. Okay, it's like a weekend, right? I mean to say it's ending of the Friday, EOD of the Friday. And also, we don't want to work on the Friday. Always we won't work on the Friday, right? Because next day will be the weekend. Okay, so we'll be on all the chill mode. So what happens by the time if this much of works comes, means if you want to do that in a manual effort, means it takes a lot of time. Okay, so Monday is the release. After the weekend, the release is coming on the Monday only. So in that time, if we want to cover all the scenarios, whatever we have is very, this is like time consuming process also, it's very headache process also. Okay, because we have to test thoroughly all the old functionalities and also fixed functionalities within the short time. Okay, so by the time if you sit and if you perform all the scenarios manually, it take a lot of time. Okay, so for that reason we have to go for the automation testing. Okay, so this is the major areas, you know uh, we were facing a lot of issues with respect to the time management and also the effort. So in order to avoid this, we are jumping into the automation. Okay, so this is why we are jumping into the automation, and also why the automation is on demand. Because of these issues we are facing in the manual testing, the automation is in high demand now. That's why everyone jumping towards the automation, and everyone are learning the Selenium. Okay, we have also other tool in the market, not only the Selenium, but Selenium giving a great support with respect to the covering all the issues that we are facing in the manual testing. We will be discussing going forward. Okay, so we'll be discussing what are the advantages of Selenium, what are the disadvantages of Selenium, and how it is useful, how it is better than the other tools available in the market. All the things we'll be discussing. Okay, so this is how. Okay, before going with respect to the course content and all, I just want to know, guys, what is testing, because why we are doing a testing, what is the importance of testing, and also what is the importance of manual testing, and also what is the importance of automation testing, and why we need to jump towards the automation testing. Hope this part is clear. Okay, so and also just think that complete 100% automation is not possible. Even though we adopt many third party tools to achieve many tasks, complete 100% automation is not possible. So that we will be discussing in further sessions. Okay, how the complete 100% automation is not possible. Somewhere we need a manual effort. Okay, where and all we need a manual effort whenever we are completely working as automation test engineer, where it's required to perform the manual testing. So why it is not possible? This is all like an interview question. So we will be discussing in further session all those things. Okay, and so hope it's clear why we are learning the Selenium course now. Okay, so are you clear why you are learning the Selenium course? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now, okay. So okay, we are clear with why we are learning this Selenium course now. Okay. So now, what we are learning in this course now, we'll discuss about that. Okay. So what we are learning in this course first is, so first we are learning the Java. Okay, because in the Selenium we are working with a Java. Okay. So first we learn or Java part. Why we have to learn the Java part means in order to work with the Selenium we require a knowledge of any one programming language. Okay, if you look at the official website of the Selenium supports multiple language. Okay, it supports the multiple language. In that multiple language we are choosing a, see, this is the official website of the Selenium. Okay, this is official website of the Selenium. Okay, if you go down, see, these are all the tools supported by Selenium. Okay, so these are all the tools supported by Selenium. For example, Browser Stack, Source Lab, Expertise, Happily Tools, Subjecto, Lambda Test, Perfecto. Okay, so this Perfecto, for example, in our organization, we are integrating this Perfecto in order to perform the cross-browser testing, in order to perform the mobile testing. Okay, so why these are all the tools we are integrating with the Selenium in order to perform some other kind of testing. Okay, so if you use the Selenium, you can work with these tools as well. Okay, if you go down, see you see Selenium supports Java, Python, C Sharp, Ruby, JavaScript, and Kotlin. Okay, so all this will be supported by the Selenium. Okay, so but in this we are using a Java. Okay, we are working with a Java language. So before start working with the Selenium, okay, before start working with the Selenium, we have to learn the Java. Okay, first we will learn the Java, then we will jump into the learning of the Selenium. Okay, so in this Java, what we are learning? First, we are learning with the basics. Okay. First, we are learning with the Java basics. Okay. So in this Java basics, what we are learning? So we are learning like what is data types, and what is variables and the arrays. Okay, and what we have, constructor. What is constructor? Sorry, here you can use operations. So after covering the basics, something called as a access modifiers. Okay, so after covering the basic, then we will learn towards Java hooks concept. Okay, so in Java hooks, so what is class and objects? Okay, what is constructor and other loopholes of the constructor, and what is polymorphism. what is encapsulation, encapsulation, what is inheritance. So after learning about the inheritance, something called as the exception handling. So after covering exception handling, then we'll go with the something called as collection, Java collection, Java collections. So in that we'll cover we have a lot of many interfaces, right? In the Java collection we have many interfaces, but in that what are all the major topics is required, and what are the important interfaces is required. So those things will cover. Okay. So after covering a Java collection, after covering a Java collection and after learning a complete Java, then we will move towards Selenium learning. Okay. Then we will learn about Selenium. So this first, first basically we are covering all the Java concepts. So in this we have a, again we have a multiple subtopics, guys. Okay. I'm not listing all the subtopics as well. Just the main topics I'm listing here. So basically all the Java concepts, whatever required in order to handle the Selenium, everything will be covered. Okay. So after learning the Java, because Java is like a base pillar before learning the Selenium. Okay, once you are strong in the Java, then you can easily adopt the Selenium. No issues in that. Okay, because it's like you have to make use of this library in order to work with this. Okay, in this Selenium you already have a inbuilt method, classes, everything will be available. Okay, you just need a concept of Java in order to work with those classes and methods. So if you're strong in Java, then you can easily adopt the Selenium. Whatever may be the scenario you may be come across, you can adopt the Selenium if you are very strong with the Java. Okay, so once after learning this, then we'll jump into the Selenium. In Selenium also, first we'll start with all the basics. Okay, I mean to say like you will be you will be getting content details, guys. Okay, I'm just list out here main part. Okay, so how to handle the, for example, first learning about the browser, how to launch the browser. First you're learning about the method property method, and after learning the property method, like how to launch the browser, how to launch the browser. After launching the browser, perform learning about the locators. Okay, it's a very important concept, locators. If you learn to locators, okay, like we have a 8 locators, right? We have a ID, we have a name. Okay, before learning the locators, we'll understand HTML DOM structure. Okay, so if you understand the HTML DOM structure, then working with the locators will be easy. Okay, so after learning about the locators, means in that also we have a ID locator, we have a name locator, we have a class path, we have a link text, partial link text, we have CSS selector, X path. In X path again it will be divided into multiple concepts. Okay, like handling the absolute X path, handling the relative X path, and also handling a dynamic X path. Okay, so after covering all the locators and XPath concepts here. Okay, let me write XPath. Okay, because in the XPath also we have multiple topics again. XPath handling. Okay, XPath handling. Then we'll perform a login scenario. Whenever you are attending the interview, this is a famous question that perform a login scenario on the application. They will give you an application and they will tell you to perform a login scenario. Okay, so login scenario. After performing a login scenario, we learn something like handling of elements, and we learn about WebDriver, and web driver and its methods, and web elements, handling of web elements. Okay, and how to handle the elements which is available in the particular application. Elements like how to work with a drop down, how to click on a element, how to send a element, means how to do the scroll bar, how to double click. Okay, and how to check the some option here. So whatever the functionality available on the application, all the things will be handled with the help of the web element methods. Okay, what are the elements we have? So web element means the elements which present on the application. So how to handle the all the elements by using a method which is available in the web elements. Okay, so after handling this, then we are learning some advanced concepts like a POM, page object model. So after in the page object model, we can work with one is Excel file, how to handle the Excel file, and how to handle the property file by using a property file. So after handling in this two way, then we are learning something like a test engine. I'm just I'm just writing a main topics. Okay, you will be receiving the content through the mail. Just go through the content once. Okay, so learning about the test engine. Okay, and after learning the test engine, we'll learn about the framework. Okay, after covering all the topics which is required to handle all the elements, then finally we are working with the framework. In the framework, so we'll be implementing the framework with the cucumber approach, and also other methodology also we will be working. So the main thing finally we are building a framework with the cucumber. Okay, okay. So after learning the framework, then we are learning how we can integrate with the Git, and how we can integrate with the Jenkins. Okay, we can integrate with the Jenkins. Okay, so in this, the mainly after working on the all the framework like a data driven and other framework, then we are working with the Cucumber framework. Okay, yeah. So this is what the plan we are doing here. Okay, uh, yeah. In this also, so finally, whatever the framework we will write, we should not be execute in the local, right? So we have to execute in the Jenkins, and we have to see how many test cases are passing and how many test cases are failing, and we have to start working with the failed test cases, right? So that has to be run in the Jenkins in real time, not in the local. So how we can integrate that with the Git, and how we can integrate that with the Jenkins, and then how we can execute our framework in the Jenkins. All those things will be working, like like end-to-end scenario will be performing how we are performing in the real time. Okay, so this is what the plan of this course. Okay, if you have any queries, miss, just ask me. So first we'll be covering the Java, and then we'll be covering all the Selenium concepts which we have. So after covering that, then we will be working with the framework. Okay, then we are integrating that with the tools which we are using in the real time. So these are the tools like GitHub, Jenkins, are the tools which we are using in the real time. So that we will be integrating. Okay. Mm, yeah. So this is what the plan that we have. If you have any queries, just ask me. Any query or any doubts with respect to the course that we are covering, you can ask me. Any doubts? Hmm. So here, just main. I'm not specifying all the concepts here. Okay, I'm just specifying the main topics. Okay, so under this we have a multiple concepts. So those things will be anyhow. You guys will be receiving in a mail, right? So you will be receiving the content details as well. Okay, just go through that all the content, because if I keep on listing all the content means it is just takes a time. So just go through the concepts whatever we are covering in that. But in the framework, first covering the basic framework, whatever we have, like a hybrid, data driven, all those we have, right? So finally, working with all those things, the finally we are working with the cucumber framework, okay? Because current market is running on the cucumber framework only, right? So we are working on the cucumber framework. Then that we will integrate with the GitHub and Jenkins. Okay. If you have any query, if you have any issue on whatever the content we are covering here, if you have any query with respect to that, you can ask me now. Okay, because from tomorrow we are starting with the Java concept. Okay, we are starting the actual sessions from tomorrow only, because it's been already 2 weeks of demo has given already, right? So we are starting with tomorrow. So if you have any queries, just you clear it now itself, and then you can plan accordingly. You can make use of a chat if you don't want to unmute yourself and speak. Testing with client requirement to match expected and actual outcome. Yeah, perfectly fine. Yeah.
Uh, the class will be on the weekend only, or it will be daily?
Yes, Pooja. This batch we are planning weekend only. Okay. Yeah, weekend only we are planning this batch. According to after joining yours, so if they everyone are okay with the regular session of 7 a.m. like that means, then we can plan that. But now we are planning for the weekend only this day.
Okay.
Okay, so weekend like Saturday and Sunday, 2.5 hour. Okay, 2.5 hour will sit and will complete, and in the 2 days will be, it's like a 5 hours of session will be covering. So you will be having a 5 days of time in order to work with the 5 hours of session, right? So we'll cover all the 2.5 hour session. Means one day 2.5 hour means it will, from 2 days it will be like a 5 hours. So you will be having the next 5 days to cover all the topics which you are discussed in the 2 days. So you can work, and also I will be giving you the assignment kind of things. Okay. So you'll be having a lot of time, means at least 5 days of time you will get. So in that, whatever the topics I have covered and whatever the assignment I have given for you, you guys can start working on that. That is more than enough, to pro with the Selenium and Java. Okay. So according to the in industry whatever we follows everything, by having that in a mind, we are trying to cover all the things in this course. Okay. So that's why first we'll start with the Java basics from tomorrow. So after starting with the Java basics, I will just give you the assignment of some assignment I will pass. Either I will post it in a drive, or else if everything is fine, everyone are enrolled, then I will create a WhatsApp group. In the WhatsApp group, I will be posting the questions which you have to work on. So you will be having a next 5 days of time. Till that, whatever we are covered, finish thoroughly all the concept and also the assignment. Just start working on those things. Okay. So if you are keep on practicing means everything will become easy. Okay. Just you need a practice. So I guess this will be a good plan. You whatever we will be covering a 5 hours of session, you will be getting a 5 days, and start working on that, and the assignment also will be providing. If you cover whatever I am instructing within that day, then that's fine. Okay, within the completion of this course, you guys will be the pro in the Selenium. You can start working with the Selenium, or you can apply the job on the Selenium. Whatever you have to do, you can start doing that. Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Yeah. Apuja. Others, any any question? Any question here?
No,
Yeah, Nita.
no questions from me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if if no questions means we'll wind up the session for today. So this is what I just want to convey for this session. Okay. Just whatever we discussed, like what is testing, what is manual testing, what is automation testing, and why we have to go for the automation testing. This is clear now. Okay. So now from tomorrow we'll start with a Java learning. Okay. So tomorrow we'll cover all the data types and variable concept, and if required operation concept will cover. Okay. After covering, just will give the assignment on these things. Then next we'll go for the remaining concept, and then we'll work on these concepts. Once after covering Java basics, then we'll jump into the Java oops. Okay. So if you get a complete hold on the Java oops and Java collection, then that is fine. Okay. So this basics and whatever the oops concept we are learning and Java collection we are learning, if you have a very good hold on this is like a pillars of the Selenium. Okay. So before learning the Selenium, if you are very good at Java, then Selenium is nothing, guys. Okay. Already everything is available in the Selenium, everything they defined. Okay. And we just have to learn the concept. Okay. If you want to launch the browser, which method we have to use? If I want to work with a drop down, which method I have to use? If I want to work with a checkbox, which method I have to use? Just we have to remember the methods. That's it. But behind the methods, how we have to write that method, how we have to handle that method, to handle those things, we need a Java idea. Okay. This we need, how to create a, for example, we have one class in a Selenium. In order to make use of that class, how to create a object here. So how to create a object idea, we will be learning in the Java. Okay. So how we were creating the object and all in the Java, the same way we have to create here also. Okay. So we'll be discussing in going forward in each and every session, we'll be discussing all those things. Okay. First tomorrow we'll start with the Java concept then. Okay. So tomorrow, like, actual sessions will be starting, because we have started this batch demo from previous week only. Okay. So other students are waiting for the actual sessions, so there will be no demo session. It's like a actual session only. Okay. If you have any queries and if you want to take any confirmation, you can call the management and tell them to connect with me. I will be there to clear your doubts. If you want to enroll means, we just do it by end of today. Okay. Because from tomorrow it will be actual session and 7:30 it will be. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else? It's clear, right? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So we will get the link for tomorrow for 7:30.
Yes, Pooja. Yeah, I think that it will be the means if you have enrolled means they will be giving you the link,
Okay.
and also the maybe they will send you the actual sessions link, and Google Drive, Google Drive link, everything they will forward you. Just contact with the management. Okay, you have a number?
No, like I need to check on my mail.
Okay, okay. If you guys want number means I just give it in the chat. Okay, just contact this number. One second. Two, six. Okay, so this is the number. You just contact that number and just specify my name. Just mention my name, and just tell, like, Selenium batch, because we will be we'll be starting with the API as well, right? So you just specify that Selenium batch for the inquiry for the Selenium batch. And if you want any information means, just ask, call this number and ask this number. If you want to speak with me before enrolling, if anyone of you speak with me, you just tell them to connect with me and they will call me. Okay. Okay, guys. Yeah. So if you don't have any question, so we'll wind up for here. Then tomorrow we'll connect for the Java session. Okay. 7:30 that will be. Session will be 7:30 a.m. Okay. So we'll connect for tomorrow. Okay. So I don't want to kill much time here, okay? Because I know it's a weekend. You guys have to go out, right? Yeah, then happy weekend. Enjoy. Bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Thank you.